At this time now, I would like to introduce our State Attorney General, Mike DeWine, and allow him to say a few words. Thank you very much for being here.
Well, good morning, everyone. Let me thank Prosecutor Walsh for those kind comments, and I'm very pleased to partner with her and her office once again. This has been a long-standing relationship with her office and the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office and the Summit County Prosecutor's office have worked together many, many times on cases ranging from mortgage fraud to illicit drug cases to murder cases. The prosecutor and her staff have worked seamlessly with my staff. We hope we've worked seamlessly with her staff, and we're anxious to continue working with her and her team on this, frankly, most unusual and very tragic case. The indictment today of Richard Beasley demonstrates the commitment and cooperation of many agencies. This is the way the system, frankly, is supposed to work in law enforcement. Because of the multiple crime scenes, the multiple victims, there have been many agencies involved in this case. I want to express my thanks at least to some of them. First, the Noble County Sheriff's Office, and particularly Noble County Sheriff's Detective Jason Mackey, who just did a fantastic job and has done a fantastic job and is just stellar in his investigation in this case. Let me also thank agents from the Attorney General's BCI office. BCI worked the crime scene in Noble County and in Summit County, including four who are here today, who are seated in the second row right there, and I want to pay tribute to them and to everyone else at BCI who did such a job on this case. Dennis Sweet, who is the Special Agent Supervisor, Steve Burke, who's the Special Agent Crime Scene, and Ed Staley, Special Agent Crime Scene from the North, as well as Agent Mark Kohler, lead agent for the prosecution in this case. I want to thank them and pay tribute to the work they do. Also with us today are agents from the FBI who also did a fantastic job. Let me also thank the Noble County Prosecutor Cliff Seckler, the Akron Police Department, Summit County Prosecutor's Office, of course, and Prosecutor Walsh, Geauga County Sheriff's Office as well. My office's involvement in this case began early when our BCI agents were called in November after victim Scott Davis told the Noble County Sheriff's Office about answering an ad on Craigslist to work on a farm in Noble County. Instead of farm work, he was taken to a remote area and shot while trying to escape. Davis lived to tell the tale, but as his story got out, more information came forward about other missing persons who had answered similar Craigslist ads for work in the state of Ohio. The stories of the victims were frankly all very similar. These were men who were down on their luck, or who at least were looking for a new chance in life to start all over again in a very difficult and challenging economy that we face today. They all had answered an ad to work. After exchanging emails, they were told to pack up their belongings and come to Ohio. In these difficult economic times, these men took advantage of what they thought was an opportunity to have a better life. Tragically, that ended in their death. BCI started working the case when our crime scene agent Steve Burke answered a request from Noble County Sheriff's Office Detective Jason Mackey. Our BCI agents, along with local law enforcement, began combing the crime scene, a remote, rural, wooded area in the rain and raw November weather, along with cadaver dogs that had been brought in by the Geauga County Sheriff's Office. We brought in one of our BCI agents who had specifically been trained, specially trained at the University of Tennessee's Anthropological Research Facility, better known as the Body Farm. He was able to use the skills that he learned there to probe the ground, to work the scene, and that led ultimately to uncovering the bodies of additional victims. As the case progressed, our BCI agents were also able to help in Summit County as an additional victim was discovered near the Rolling Hills Mall here in Akron. What is unique about this case is the use of Craigslist to lure already vulnerable people to Ohio and to entice them with job prospects. It's pretty scary when we think about this. People use Craigslist all the time for very legitimate purposes. But what I have found out in the year that I have been Attorney General and the complaints that we have received in our office, there are many people who use Craigslist for horrible reasons. I'm shocked and I'm sickened by how technology and the internet were used in this case to draw in vulnerable people and then to execute them. This use of the internet to commit crimes is certainly a dramatic change since when I was a prosecuting attorney in Greene County. And I think should be a warning for all of us and a warning to the public. We all must be mindful that sadly there are despicable people out there using technology for evil purposes. And we need to always be extremely careful when interacting with complete strangers on the internet. As we mourn the victims who tragically lost their lives, we still need more information. Candidly, we don't know if there are more victims or not. We're dealing with serial killings here. Are there more bodies? We frankly do not know. If there are, we need to find them. So today I am making a plea to the public in Ohio, as well as the public in Texas. I'm appealing to the people in this state. If you have any information about this case, about this individual, please come forward and give us that information. If you have any information on any other potential victims or people who have disappeared, who are missing, who you don't know where they are, please come forward and give us that information. I would ask people to contact BCI. The number is over here on the chart, 1-855-BCI Ohio. It's 1-855-224-6446, or certainly call the Summit County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. This is crucial. We need help. Let me thank you all very much for being here. Let me turn it back to Prosecutor Walsh. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney General DeWine. At this point, we will open up the floor here to questions. I will kind of warn you at first, there probably are very few questions we can answer, but go ahead and give it a shot.
Attorney DeWine, you said that you believe this is a case, a serial killer case, but you also have 4 counts of aggravated robbery. Do they go hand in hand, do you think, or not?
I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the case. I'm talking about the need for more information, if there is more information. And frankly, we don't know. We know what we know. We don't know what else might be out there, and that was the real purpose.
What's Brogan Rafferty right now, and if you could provide his cooperation with this case?
The juvenile's case is still pending in Noble County, and I think, as most of you know, the judge there has issued a gag order, so we cannot give any comments as to the juvenile's case at this time.
Ma'am, what kind of testimony can you expect from Scott Davis in trying to convict Beasley?
I can't get into what his testimony will be, other than I certainly believe that he will be a cooperative witness and will be able to provide testimony that will allow us to prove those charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
Sherry, why do you say it'd be more cost-effective to try him here?
When I refer to cost-effective, certainly when we're teaming up together, the Attorney General's office and the Summit County Prosecutor's office, whatever trial costs are incurred as a result of this prosecution, we'll be sharing in those costs.
How many other potential victims were contacted through this Craigslist? We've spoken to some other people who say, hey, they never got a call back
There were definitely other people, but at this point in time, I can't reveal details on the other individuals who were contacted.
Attorney General, do you want to say anything to the families of these victims? I know you guys are in contact with them. Is there anything publicly you'd like to say to them?
Well, our heart goes out to them. We've all lost family members. Most of us have not lost them in such a horrible and tragic way. Every death is tragic, but our heart goes out to them. And we feel very, very sorry for them. And of course, we want justice to be done in this case. That's what our goal. And you know, it is. The other thing I would say is that, you know, the prosecutor and I are standing up here today, but there have been dozens and dozens and dozens of people who have worked long and hard for us to get to this point. Some of them are here today, but many of them who are not. And you know, the fact that we are here today is a tribute to the work that they have done. And these are people whose names you will never know, and the victims may never know, but I think what motivates our agents at BCI and all the other departments when they're out there in the cold and they're doing what they have to do is the victims and the victims' families. So that I never use the term closure. I lost our daughter when she was 22, and so closure is not something that ever happens to a family. But to know what happened and to seek justice and to see justice done, that's so very, very important, and that's what we're trying to do.
Was the motive murder or robbery or combination?
At this time, we can't speculate or discuss about what we believe the motive to be.
This is a death penalty case, correct?
This is a death penalty case, correct?
Can you talk about why you believe this case deserves a death penalty?
This case deserves a death penalty for a multitude of reasons. As you heard through the indictment, there are a number of specifications which clearly fit. In this particular case, the number of victims who were shot, the fact that he was on parole and a fugitive, it was committed during an aggravated robbery. You know, this case we view as to be one of the worst when it comes to horrible murder cases, and that would be certainly a reason for this to be pursued as a death penalty case.
Am I being able to make a connection as to how they gained access to the farm in Noble County to murder these victims?
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Have you been able to make a connection as to how the suspects gained access to the farm in Noble County?
We have information and knowledge about why that farm, but we cannot discuss that at this time.
Mike, can you detail the resources that your office is going to lend to the prosecution areas?
Well, we really are involved.
Prosecutors or
Yeah,
whatever?
sure. We're really involved in two ways. We were, as I outlined, involved from really almost the beginning with Noble County when our BCI agents were there. They will continue to work this case. So that will continue. What the prosecutor indicated is the second way that we are helpful is that we will be involved as part of our lawyers. We have a special unit in our office, and what that special unit does is these are experienced trial prosecuting attorneys, and they are available to other counties when those counties have a need for them or have a desire for them. It's a relatively small unit, but we think it's a very, very good unit. We're very proud of it. So we will have people from that unit who are available and who will be directly involved along with the prosecutor's office in actually trying this case.
At the prosecution tables?
Yeah, they'll be right at the table. Yeah, we'll be involved. We'll be there. I mean,
Sherry, who
you know.
do you assign the case to?
Assistant Prosecutor John Baumel, who is sitting up front, will be the lead counsel.
Do you have an assistant, somebody else with him?
This one of the special prosecutors from the Attorney General's office. I don't want to speak
Yeah,
on
we're
behalf
not
of.
gonna we're not going to name that
Yeah, I
yet.
don't know
but-
if they're going to name that yet, but
information will be available later.
yeah.
Has the case been assigned to a judge?
No, not yet.
Has the
The
indictment been
information on
filed?
the parole violation. and
Indictment was just filed.
The indictment was just filed about 30 minutes ago.
Sorry,
Yes.
I was asking about the parole violation of Texas. Elaborate on that and why that plays into the indictment. She was a fugitive.
The law just indicates that as a specification, that if someone is a fugitive from justice, that could be a specification that could result in a death penalty sentence. As far as all the details on what happened, I know that I saw that report that was issued, and I think it kind of speaks for itself.
The fugitive is from Texas, or the fugitive is from Summit County? There are two. I mean, there's one also from Summit County.
Yeah.
Does it relate? Which one does it relate to? The Texas one?
I was under the impression it was the Texas one, or both, yeah. Okay.
Could you tell us what it was concerning? I mean, what the crime was involved in Texas?
I believe the crime was aggravated burglary or a burglary charge? Burglary charge?
Multiple burglaries.
Multiple.
Anybody else?
What, any plea that you're offering here? Are you open to talks and negotiating a plea with Beasley?
At this point in time, we are not, contemplating or discussing a plea with Beasley.
Is it
No.
appropriate even in this case?
What about the prostitution charges? Are going ahead with those? Are they put on hold?
That case will proceed. It's not related to this one, but that case will be proceeding as scheduled.
Anybody?
Okay. Any
All right.
final questions? All right, thank you
Thank you
all very much.